After failing my senior year of high school, I was overlooked and underestimated by absolutely everybody. It wasn't until I began these 15 tiny habits that I was able to go from being broke to actually accepting a job offer that included $4 million worth of stock options at a tech company. So whether you're broke, you're feeling stuck, or just looking for small changes that you can make that will make a big difference in your life, this video is for you. So I broke down these habits into 3 simple categories so that you can easily pick and choose which ones make the most sense for you. The categories are money generating, productive, and transformative. So let's start with one of the money generating habits. The first habit is networking. Whether you know it or not, you're only one connection away from living out whatever goal it is that you have. Whatever thing you aspire to be or to accomplish, someone's already done it. What got me on my road, I was selling cars at one point, and I started networking actively on LinkedIn. I knew, hey, I did not want to do this the rest of my life. The moment my life began to change was the second I started networking online. I added one of my cousin's friends on LinkedIn because she had a job that I eventually wanted to have. I reached out to her, asking her for advice. Hey, what do you think is important to people who are looking to get into these sort of jobs? I wanted to get out of selling cars so bad because I didn't have a life, and I wanted to get a career in tech. And she was already there. She gave me advice. And this is what led to me being invited to interview. It started out with me asking advice. What would happen if you just made this one tiny thing a habit? Start adding people on LinkedIn who have the jobs or have the businesses that you admire. What kind of advice would you get? What kind of connections would be made? The job offer that I accepted recently all started with networking online and making that one single connection. How many connections can you make each week? The second one sounds a little contradictory, but remove social media apps and only use the web browser on your phone, right? So what do I mean by that? So everybody uses Instagram, think about TikTok or the different apps, Facebook, whatever. Delete those from your phone immediately, and only if you have to check your Instagram because you're worried someone's gonna message you and have their feelings hurt. Use the web browser app. Literally open Chrome or whatever browser you use and use Instagram through there. It's such a bad experience that it will keep you from endlessly scrolling and wasting your life away. This one thing made me so much productive. Did you know the average person wastes 2.5 hours a day on social media alone? Think about that. 2.5 hours times 365 days is 912 hours. 912 hours equals over 30 days of your life on social media. So this is a productivity hack that has made all the difference in my life. The third one is super small, but I've seen it change the way that people look at me completely. The third one is dress nicely. Like, it doesn't mean you have to dress expensive or look for big brands, but simply invest into the way that you look. So many studies have been done about how life is so much easier for good-looking people. While you can't change your face or you can't change your body that you were born with, what you can change is the way that you dress. And you can do that quite simply. You don't have to spend a lot of money. In fact, I've thrifted a lot of the suit jackets and the blazers I wear to work, and it makes such a difference. Especially for me, I've always had to kind of overcompensate for the fact that I dropped out of high school, I don't have a college degree, and I'm working in corporate America. So I dress above whatever the dress code is. I err on the side of formal. This is something simple that you can do. It's a small effort, will go such a long way. Unfortunately, people automatically are judging you by the way you look. Not because they're bad people, because guess what? We all do the same thing. When you don't know a person, you gotta make snap judgments in your brain about who you think a person is. Or you don't have to, but we all make snap judgments in our brain before we really get to know people. What you don't want to be is one of these Walmart pajama people, right? Don't be one of those people who go in looking scrubby, because you might have the mind of a genius. But if you look like a bum, don't be surprised when people treat you like one. I know that sounds harsh, but it's the truth. Spend time, spend the money. You don't have to spend a lot of money, but spend some money and time looking nice. Fourth, track your money, AKA build a budget. You've got to start looking at, where's your money going? Is your money going into anything that brings you back money? One of the things that I had to stop doing, I was wasting way too much money on my entertainment. Like, if you looked at how much money you spend, you'd be shocked at where it's going. The first step to making more money and transforming your life is pay attention to your money. If you want to make more money, pay attention to it. Track it. Anything that's important that you're expecting from your life, you've got to inspect. Inspect what you expect. One of the things that made a difference for me was looking at all of my transactions each month and watching where my money was going. I was surprised to find out how much money I was flushing down the drain and getting nothing in return for it. Fifth, the next habit's closely related. Replace TV. Cancel your cable subscription. You don't need it. Replace TV with YouTube. Watch something that's actually productive. Like this video right here, for example. Cancel your cable subscription and turn on YouTube. Whatever dopamine hits you get from watching your favorite show, whatever mystery, Game of Thrones, etc., turn that off and trigger your brain to start getting dopamine hits from things that actually bring you closer toward your goal. This is what I did. I used to be hooked on Game of Thrones, Sopranos, you name the show, I was the guy hooked on all these shows. I would binge watch TV all the time. But it wasn't until I changed that habit into something productive that I started making real money, that I started getting real opportunities. I had to do the things that most people weren't doing. Pretty much everybody watches TV. Pretty much everybody watches, binge watches Netflix. But I don't want what most people have. I want what most people don't have, which is the opportunity to earn millions of dollars. Maybe that's not what makes you tick, but think about whatever it is. I can assure you that TV's not getting you any closer to that. The next habit that I've found that has been completely transformative is something as simple as journaling for 5 minutes a day. This is something I've got to get a lot better at. There were times in my life where I was super religious about it. I did it all the time, and it's so cool to go back and look at what was stressing me out 3 years ago. And today I look back and was like, man, I can't even believe I was freaking out about X thing. Man, it wasn't that big of a deal after all. Or seeing the progress that I've made in my career, seeing the progress in my family. There's no better way to find gratitude in your day-to-day life, in my opinion, than journaling and looking back all the things you've been through and all the areas you've grown. If you want to grow, challenge yourself to look at your life over the past couple years. One of the best ways to do that is take 5 minutes. And if you don't want to take 5 minutes, take 2 minutes in the morning to just journal every single day and watch the difference that it makes. This is something I got to get a lot better at. I'm not doing it every day like I used to, but I've seen it change my life completely. Next, anytime I'm picking up the phone or anytime I'm going into any sort of sales conversation, thinking about what's in it for them. Anything that comes out of my mouth when a customer picks up the phone, anything that comes out of my mouth when I'm going into a negotiation, I need to be thinking about the other person. So maybe you're not in sales, but maybe you're trying to advance in your career. Maybe you're trying to, date that girl. Think about what's in it for them. Anything that proceeds out of your mouth. If your focus is on the other person, watch how quickly things can happen for you. So that's a sales tip, but it made me so much freaking money. I had to share this here. Number 8, read books. I love podcasts. Podcasts are amazing, but I want to challenge you. Spend 15 minutes a day reading books. This, I almost put in a money-making habit category because some of the things that I've learned in books are a big part of what got me to where I am today. Like, I didn't have the traditional education. You guys know that my story. I failed high school and then eventually dropped out of college after a year. I had to get an education on my own. So part of that was reading books. That's the only way. If you want an edge on the people around you, if you know most people are binge watching Netflix, if you know most people are wasting their life away on social media, how can you use your time differently to get to the next level? Reading books is one of those things that will put out outstanding returns on the investment. So read books daily. Speaking of investment, another tip is spend your money on fitness. I'm not gonna lie to you, I overspend on my gym. My gym's not that good, but I spend like $200 a month on it, despite the fact that it's not that nice of a gym. The reason is because I'm investing that much money every month, I know for a fact I'm going. I'm not gonna waste that money. Like, it seems silly to me, but most people are willing to invest hundreds and hundreds of dollars eating at fancy restaurants, hundreds of dollars on their cable subscriptions, on their different entertainment, going to watch movies, going to watch, sports games, but they're not willing to invest in themselves. One of the best things that I've done in my life to really get me to where I am is investing in my own fitness. I recognize that when I work out in the morning, I'm so much more productive. I transform myself into a person that was capable of earning millions of dollars. Turns out, almost all of the wealthy people I know are in really good shape. And most of the obese or out of shape people I know aren't wealthy at all. In fact, most of them are poor. So, what can you do Start investing in your health. Maybe you're not in shape right now. That's fine. What are you gonna do about it? How long do you want that to be your story? This is something I had to take very seriously myself. The next thing, take massive, imperfect action. Whatever goal is that you have for yourself, maybe it's to make more money this year. Maybe it's to write a book. Maybe it's to build that business. Take massive, imperfect actions every day. One of the things that slowed me down early on in my career, I was a perfectionist. No, I'm not gonna record a video until it's absolutely perfect. No, I'm not gonna apply to that job until I have this certification first. No, I'm not gonna do this until I have the perfect scenario. Analysis paralysis has stopped more dreams than almost anything else in the world. Start taking actions, even if they're small ones, taking actions every day that lead you closer to your goal. Because whether you know it or not, everything that you do on a daily basis is taking you closer to your goal or taking you further away. And speaking of that, one of the tiny habits that have really changed things for me was I started charging my phone further away from my bed. So when I go to sleep, I put my phone just far enough away to charge that I have to get up out of my bed and stand up to turn off the alarm. Most people will say, wake up earlier, 5 a.m. I agree, I'm one of the early risers. I find that most wealthy people wake up early. But maybe you don't want to wake up at 5 a.m., but you do want to wake up earlier. You do want to get more things done. If you want to get things done and you want to be able to wake up early without just automatic hitting the snooze button, when your body is already up, standing up physically, feet on the floor, your brain wakes up. So I would challenge you. This small change gave me the ability to wake up and go to the gym in the morning. It's so silly. Just charge your phone far away from you. It works every time. 12, I removed poison from my diet. What I mean by poison, I'm talking about heavy sugar. I used to drink juices or sodas and, every once in a while have a piece of candy. I had to remove all of that stuff from my diet. And one of the things that I've noticed is when I started working out, I stopped wanting to drink sodas, stopped wanting to drink these fake juices because I realized I'm wasting my time waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning if I'm gonna eat so bad. I stopped drinking beer because I'm like, man, why are you gonna put that in your body if you're investing so much money and time into getting in shape? It was like automatic momentum in the right direction that was pushing me toward my destiny. So as a result of working out and waking up in the morning, it made me not want to put bad stuff in my body. And this all helped me become the kind of person that I am today. So this small thing, remove the candy, remove the donuts, remove the soda, remove the juice from your diet. The next thing that I felt like was really transformative and making me a different type of person was I turned off Spotify and turned on Audible.com. If you're not familiar with Audible.com, essentially what it is it reads books to you. So if you're on your car, on your way to work, or your way home from work, you're driving, or you're working out, instead of listening to music, turn on a book. How many more books could you get through? How much more could you learn if instead of listening to your favorite artist in the car or your favorite rap album in the gym or whatever you listen to books instead? It's incredible. I read at least 4 times as many books as soon as I started turning on Audible and turning off the music. Look, I love music as much as the next guy, but I love my goals a lot more than I love music. So, recommendation to you, get an Audible.com subscription, right? Since you're canceling your Netflix, you can probably afford the extra $12 or $15 it takes to get an Audible.com membership. This has been extremely transformative in my life. Next, 14, and we're almost here to the end of the list, but this one's special to me. Language learning. Did you know what 15 minutes a day, you can actually learn a language passively? Just 15 minutes. One of my favorite applications for this, it's not actually Duolingo. I don't really like that one. One of my favorite applications for this is an app called Pimsleur. It forces you to speak the language to learn. So you have to speak back and forth with a person. Many studies have been done talking about the power of learning a language and what it does to your brain. I've noticed myself, like it opens you up to a completely different world. I'm already bilingual. I speak Spanish and English, but I'm actively learning French, and it's been a game changer for me. It's just another thing. I want to be a person that can connect with different people and different cultures. And if you're in sales and you're trying to grow a business or you want to go international, man, why not take 15 minutes of your day to open up an entirely different world? I'm American. So a lot of times Americans can be so focused on all the industry and all the culture we have right here in our own country. But do you realize that learning a new language literally opens you up to an entirely different world? And the last micro habit that I implemented that has really changed the game for me and helped me get promotions, etc., has been documenting and sharing my process. So you're actually watching evidence of this right now. I started recording videos and posting them to LinkedIn about different things that I was learning about, different things that I wanted to share with people, and people started to notice. So eventually the CEO of the company that I work for noticed and started commenting, and every time he saw me, he started mentioning, man, I really love your videos, keep that up, I love that. Next thing you know, whether this is the cause or not, I don't know, but next thing you know, I started getting chosen to do things that I wasn't getting chosen for first. People started thinking of me for more things, probably because I was more visible, because I was sharing my process. So maybe you don't feel like making videos, you don't feel like writing. One of the things I would do is find a way to document your process. Whatever it is you're working towards, whether it be your fitness journey, whether you want to be a writer one day, whether you want to build a business, document your journey, share it with people, because you'll be surprised who you can connect with. This is a big piece of network. Anyways, thanks for watching the video. I absolutely appreciate your time today. Peace.